So today we're going to be doing a relative compression test, and we're going to do first we're going to do it dry, then we're going to do it wet. So I'm setting you up for what do we do to look at it dry. Being that we already did a relative compression test, we found that cylinders 3 and 7, which are on opposite banks but would be in the same journal, are the two that are low. So here's how you set up how to do this. All right, so we've got to figure out where cylinder number 1 is, right? We've got our pickup right here. We're going to be looking at the scope in just a moment. We need to bring the spark to ground, so we're using this little tool here in order to, metal obviously, to bring it to ground, because otherwise we may take out the coil. We've got our manual compression test where we're looking at the gauge, right? So we could actually get numbers too on number 3. We've also got it over here on number 7. Okay, so we're actually going to get numbers on it. And then over here, right, we've got our scope. So to see what the firing order is, the green is going to be our ignition. The yellow is looking at the battery, because P equals IE, and so therefore we're using AC coupling, because to accentuate this, right, it's going to be back and forth like this, because we can use relative, in other words, to look at voltage and current at the same time. So the electricity lesson in this is that when we pull, when current is high, voltage goes low. So as soon as you can't, we make it, make it easier to see, because what if you can't afford an amp clamp? That's the amp clamp right there. All right, we just have the light in here in order to see what we're doing. Okay. All right, he's going to hold the throttle open so we get our full volumetric efficiency, and then he's going to crank it. Got it. Okay, so we're going to go back here, and right, you see that it goes across. Let me get a little better shot. Right there is where it comes way down. So this spot where it comes way down, this is where the two cylinders, I know we already investigated to see which cylinders that it was. They're right next to each other in the firing order too. So it comes way down on number 3, and then you see that it starts coming back up again, and this is where he stopped cranking it. So on here, wait, we've got 125 dry, and on this cylinder we've got just over 100 dry. Right, so right now it's showing that in particular cylinder number 7 is the one that's low. So this is part 1 of 2. Part 2 is going to be, we're going to do the wet compression test where we're going to add oil to both of those cylinders and then see if the compression comes up.